All right, welcome back. In this video, we're going to kind of go over absentees, how we take our approach for ourselves and our clients, really look how and dive deep into the absentees to really find people who are, finding people who are most likely going to sell their property or who would be willing or open to selling their property anytime soon, whether it's now, 6 months, down the road, who knows, a year from the road. But also finding properties that we want to really go after. Every investor, seasonal investor has their niche. They know exactly what property they want to go after. It's what they feel most comfortable with. Now we have some clients that they only want to go after condos, small condos. They know how to handle them. They know how to handle HOAs and all the different types of stuff that goes hand with them. Some guys, they want to go after just homes. Some people can handle both, but everybody has their own niche. And the most successful investors, they know what they want. They know what they can handle. And they have their blueprint that's just duplicatable with every single property they get. And they don't want to take on any other property outside of what they're comfortable with, whether it can be big home, small home, medium-sized home, depending on obviously which county you work in or what city. Everywhere it's different types of homes, different types of properties, and different types of sellers. So this last one for foreclosures was looking at San Diego. This one we're actually gonna check out Florida, Broward County, Florida. Just because they have a ton of absentees. Florida is just known for a vacation spot. It's cheap out there. People buy, they have their buy and hold rental properties out there, and it's a great place to have an investment property to give you positive cash flow. So a lot of absentee owners out there. So go ahead for absentee, just type in the county, filter, and just non-owner occupied. Let's just see what the number is. So as you can tell, like I said, there are a lot, 313,501. Obviously, if you're going to go after absentee owners, you're not going to deploy marketing for that many people. So first step with absentee owners, again, like I said, go to property characteristics. Depends what you want to go after. You want to go after single family or condo, what you feel most comfortable with. Condo, you got to deal with HOAs and a lot of different other stuff. A lot more, especially in Florida, going to be a lot more condos you go after than homes. Just for this, let's kind of go after, let's go after condos. And then let's go after, let's go after 2 bedrooms. If it's a 2-bedroom condo, most likely be a good investment property. Because again, whether you're a wholesaler or flip it, if you're going to flip it, flip it because somebody's who's going to look at it and buy it, might buy it to have a nice buy, hold, and investment property that'll bring them some monthly cash flow. So let's start with that. Let's see here. Let's make sure it's off market. MLS, go off market. This is kind of a default for us, is we always make sure it's just off market. Never really want to mess with properties on the MLS. Ownership info. This is another default that we always go individual. Never want to mess with a corporation-owned property. And let's see what we got from there. So it brought us down to 43,000. So just those alone really took us way down. Now let's go back up to ownership info, and then years of ownership. Let's say I want them to have minimum. Let's go with. We can go crazy here. Let's go with 20 years. They own it for 20 years. They can be older, and they can be very tired of the property by now. So we got it down to 6,000. Now let's go over to equity. I don't know. Let's just see. They have 50%. Minimum 50. Brings it down to 6,000. So you can always play with the amount of equity they own. So 90% equity, again, 5,000. But I want to keep going lower. So right here, let's just go free and clear. Let's just see how many absentee free and clear people who have owned the property for more than 20 years. Doesn't bring it down much, still at 5,000, 5,500. So let's see here. Let's go back up to ownership info. Let's keep playing with the years of ownership. Let's go with 30. That really brings it down. 1,800. I think that's a good list to go, especially with absentee owners. It's a marathon, not a sprint with these type of owners. It's going to take some time for them to see, your marketing, hear you, see your face, see your Facebook ads, see your mailers. So more of a long distance game with marketing with these people. But you never know, if somebody's owned this property for 30 years, it's free and clear. It could be an older couple. They probably at some point won't want it anymore. They'll want to get rid of it. Who knows? It could be so old that definitely could be outdated. Let's see here, because you can even play with the year it built. Let's see if we can find an old condo. See again, if the year built was 1999, that's the max. Still at 1800 means these are a lot older condos. So they could be, a lot of them could be outdated, owned by older people. They probably don't, at a certain point, they're not going to want them anymore. So this could be a very good list to market to for the long run. Would recommend doing maybe a postcard. Don't need to spend a little bit more than on a letter. If you're fine with letter, just do one a month. Do maybe one voicemail a month too, and then just put them in your Facebook ad cycle. Just so that way, while they're online, they're always just seeing your face, and you're not consistently having to spend more money on mailers and random voicemails, and you're not really bugging their personal space. That's why we like digital ads a lot. If you want to get real technical with your digital ads, you can go YouTube, Instagram, the Google network, so that you're stocking them throughout the website. That's some of the tactics we use for our sales and clients, is not just Facebook, but all the other digital platforms, and just really utilizing all the ad space across the web so that they're always seeing your face and name. So this right here, this could be a great list to market to for the long run. And again, these are the kind of types of filters we would play with to really find the properties that we would want to deal with. Also the type of owners, again, years of ownership, 30 years. They're an individual owner, 100% equity, free and clear. This can be a very, very good list. Let's say you can go ahead and, let's say this was just for condos. What you do is you can say that search. I would recommend in the details section, put your whole filtering in the details section so that you remember, you can go back to it and you know exactly what were the filter options with that list that you have. And then, what you can do is, since we're, also compare. So let's say, all right, with that filtering in those things, we got to 1852. You can say that's a search. You can add it to your list. And then we can go back up to the filtering and be like, you know what? That's a good list for condos, but let's see how many single-family homes. So obviously a lot less for single-family homes. 575, that can be a very good list to go after. Older homes, older people, those homes could be very outdated. And at a certain point, those people are probably ready to sell at some point. So when it comes to absentees, that's how we take our approach. That's how we kind of get granular with the filtering and find the people that would most likely, especially for absentees, be willing to sell their property hopefully soon, maybe in the near future. But again, it's more of a marathon, a sprint. So definitely be in the long game with these type of people. But again, older people, older homes, at a certain point, they are going to sell. Whether it's a distressed property, it could be a flip or wholesale, or if you're a realtor, take it on, it could be a listing for you, or pass it over to your realtor partner to get a quick listing for you as well.